Guys and Jars, welcome to English. This is lesson 2 or week 3 of home learning. So, we're going to move on from last lesson. In last lesson, let me remind you, we read the story Goldilocks, and it was a special story because it was a fairy tale. And we learned two important things about fairy tales, didn't we? We learned that fairy tales have lots of magic in, which makes things that aren't normally possible, and also that things normally come in threes. Remember, porridge, chairs, bears, and beds. So today we're going to be talking about how fairy tales often revolve about morals. Now, morals are a way to think about morals is what you shouldn't do and what you should do. So they're kind of like opposites. For example, in this story, we were talking about how Goldilocks does some very unkind things, doesn't she? For example, she breaks the chair of poor baby bear's chair. She eats his porridge and sleeps in his bed. Now, those actions were unkind because she didn't think about the other characters, did she? And, well, as you can imagine, the other characters were quite sad and upset. So what we're going to talk about today and what we're going to do today is do some role play. I love role play, so I hope you're excited as I am. So, if you haven't already, I'd like you to have a look on the PDF things and get the puppet templates. Now you can either print this out or you can do what I did, which I just copied it onto a piece of paper and I drew it. You can ask an adult to help you or you can make your own. I'll just do a quick demonstration for you now. So here is my copied puppet template, which I simply drew and copied from the PDF that's available online. So what I'm going to do is just do some safety instructions with you now. So if you're going to be cutting out your puppet, it's very important that you use your scissors correctly. So that means holding it correctly, making sure, let me just show you now. So first of all, making sure that your thumb is correctly in the top hole and you have your two other fingers in the bottom, and that gives you a really good grip. And obviously making sure you're not pointing your scissors at anyone. So I'm just going to show you myself cutting out some of the bits and bobs. Ooh, there we are. So I'm just cutting around a rough outline. And I'll show you the finished result. Hello and welcome to part 2. By now you should have all your lovely puppets cut out. Hopefully they're like mine. Might be a little bit different. There we go, Goldilocks. Daddy Bear we've got here. We've got Mummy Bear here. Baby Bear looking a little bit shocked here, if you can see him. And we have Goldilocks here. If you like, you can colour them in before or after this for a bit of fun. So, let's go on to the role play, shall we? What we're going to do is a bit of my turn, your turn. So, what I'm going to do is have a go at impersonating Daddy Bear. So, I want you to imagine you just come back from your lovely walk and oh no! Oh, the porridge looks a bit funny. Something smells different. So there we get the Daddy Bear puppet. Okay, my turn. Somebody's been eating my porridge. Your turn. Excellent. So next, Daddy Bear goes upstairs. Walking up the stairs here. So remember, this is my turn. And something's funny about his chair. He sits on it, gives his bum a bit of a wiggle. And he goes, somebody's been sitting in my chair. In a rather grumpy voice. Your turn. Excellent. Now he's thinking, This is rather strange, isn't it? I better go upstairs and check the bedroom. So he goes up the next flight of stairs. 1, 2, 3. Because remember, everything's in threes. And he looks around at the beds. And he notices the duvets have changed a little bit. The beds are no longer made. And are you ready? Deep breath. Somebody's been sleeping in my bed. Your turn. Excellent. Well done. Now, I hope you had a fun time impersonating Mr. Bear, Mr. Daddy Bear. Next, we're going to go to Mummy Bear. And this time, we're going to use a different voice. So for Daddy Bear, we were quite low. But for Mummy Bear, we'll use a quite high voice. Sounds like a good plan. And we're just going to go it nice and quickly. So, somebody's been eating my porridge. Oh no. Your turn. Well done. And she goes upstairs and says, somebody's been sitting in my chair. Your turn. Well done. And lastly, she goes upstairs and sees her bed and says, somebody's been sleeping in my bed. Your turn. Well done. Perfect. And then we go to Baby Bear. Now, Baby Bear's not only had his things touched, but quite a lot of these things are broken. So he's going to be, well, what do you think? How he's going to feel? He's going to feel rather sad, isn't he? So this time, you might have a bit of a tremble in your voice. There we go. Let's see Baby Bear. Are you ready? Let's go through the story again. The story of Free. Okay. So first of all, he goes, somebody's been eating all my porridge. Your turn. Well done. Then he goes upstairs. He's sniffling now because he's rather upset. Somebody's broken my chair. Your turn. Well done. And next, he goes upstairs. Big sniffles now. He's really sad. And suddenly he sees someone in his bed and goes, somebody's sleeping in my bed. Your turn. Well done. That was great. So we've gone through all of those different bears, haven't we? We've gone through Daddy Bear, Mummy Bear, and Baby Bear. And did you notice how we used different voices for each one? Daddy's bear was rather low and cross and frustrated, wasn't he? Mama's bear had quite a high and worried voice. And Baby Bear had a trembling, sad voice. So it's really interesting how we can use voices to demonstrate the different feelings of our characters, isn't it? Now, those feelings that we've just been talking about and acting, we have to remember them for next lesson. Now, what you can do now is act out the whole thing yourself. Does that sound like a good idea? You can also get your teddy bears again that you performed to yesterday and perform the whole story to them. You might even use Miss Goldilocks. So now it's your turn. Have a great time. And remember, think about the characters' feelings.